welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Tuesday night, August the 13th. Thank you for dropping in, spending a little time with us on the Primetime program. So, in the absence of actual Titans news, we have your quarterback and his marketing campaign. I had seen the trailer last week of Will Levis and his Hellman's commercial. I had heard that it was in the vein of Old Spice is how it was described to me. Now that we have seen the product itself, and if you haven't, we're going to play it for you tonight. Don't you worry. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I mostly love it, but there is a part of me that does think that stuff like this paints a big old target on Will Levis's back prior to him having done anything of consequence in the NFL. Now, this is going to be, just full disclosure, it's going to be a little more curmudgeon media guy than I want to be, because every part of me personally loves that he did this. But there's this just terrible little media guy in the back of my head saying, no, quarterback who was 3-6 last year doesn't have the right to sell you anything yet, that I'm going to talk about tonight, while balancing the idea of him having legitimate star power and how that can benefit the Titans beyond just the Mayo campaign. We're happy to have you guys in here for another episode of the Primetime Show. We always appreciate when you share the broadcast around on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch, wherever you are spending your time with us. If you're hanging out on Twitter, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, please do us the courtesy of retweeting the show. If you're on Facebook Live, you can share now to public, and that, of course, is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you are on YouTube or Twitch, like the video, subscribe to the channel while you're there. We would appreciate it. And with that being said, we can go ahead and get the Primetime Show rolling as more of you guys continue to trickle in here. Welcome into A to Z Sports Primetime from the Zen Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you not by Hellman's Mayonnaise, though they're going to get a lot of love tonight. I am proud, as always, to be presented to you by the South's most trusted Ford dealer. That's Two Rivers Ford, quality American-made Ford vehicles and award-winning customer service. Go to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com for more information. TrueMav Fitness in the Gulch. Get your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. No workout ever recycled or repeated at TrueMavFitness.com. Zen Sports, where betting just got better. Get $100 off your no danger first wager in the Zen Sports app. Download it today and get in on all the action. So, with everything that the Titans have gone through this offseason, one of the things that is most important is Will Levis and the security around him, securing the proper weaponry around him, securing an offensive line unit that was going to be capable around him, securing a coaching staff that was going to give him the most specified coaching at the quarterback position that he has ever had. And with all of that, he's had a very busy offseason, right? New offense, new coaching staff, new players. He's bopping around to the Masters. He's playing in poker tournaments at the Super Bowl. He's in the Pro-Am, the Live Golf Pro-Am with Phil Mickelson. He's doing an hour in studio with 3HL. He's everywhere. He's available. He likes to be seen, which is good for the Titans as a franchise. And then today, the Mayo man drops the ultimate lean in, the ultimate sellout. And as a sellout myself, I have the utmost respect for Will Levis doing this, but I'm going to explain why I think that paints a target on his back here in just a second. The question that I'm going to ask you is this: on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, in the comment section, what was your reaction to Will Levis and his Mayo commercial for Hellman's today? We're going to play it for you here in just a second. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. Like I said, what was your first reaction to Will Levis and this Hellman's ad? It's your Two Rivers Ford take. As always, it's presented by the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Go to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com, where you can go and check out the Ford Bronco. The Ford Bronco is the best the best vehicle out there. It is an incredible vehicle, and it comes with all manner of different options that you may not know about. Two Rivers Ford is there to help you if you have any interest in learning more about the Ford Bronco without even being in the market for a new vehicle. Come out to Two Rivers, test drive one yourself, enjoy all the things that the Ford Bronco has to offer at your Ford Bronco headquarters, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. That's Two Rivers Ford, or online at tworiversford.com. So, what was your reaction to the mayonnaise ad? Here is the mayonnaise ad featuring Titans quarterback Will Levis.
They try to define you, but you are the ingredient to your own success. Luscious, eggy, smell like greatness. Will Levis, number 8, Parfum de Mayonnaise.
Okay. So it's awesome. Like I thoroughly enjoy the ad itself. But again, I do think that there are some things worth talking about here. And I even got an email from his PR firm, Will Levis's, today, promoting the new Mayo scented fragrance with Hellmann's as a part of his partnership. I'll read from the email directly. Last year, quarterback Will Levis brought the viral combination of coffee and mayo to the world, followed by a partnership with Hellmann's for a lifetime supply of mayo. Now Hellmann's and Will Levis are bringing mayonnaise to noses with the world's first Parfum de Mayonnaise, Will Levis number 8. Perfectly crafted to harness the tantalizing scent of the world's most alluring condiment, mayonnaise, Will Levis number 8 boasts notes of tart lemon, mayonnaise accord, musk, vanilla, and of course, coffee undertones. The quarterback's signature scent is encased in a sleek Hellmann's blue bottle and is available for purchase by both football and mayonnaise fans alike for just $8 at willlevis8.com. So it's worth noting that this did sell out within an hour and a half of it being made available. Levis, there's a quote from Levis in here: "With the launch of my signature scent, I fulfilled a lifelong dream of partnering with Hellmann's to craft a fragrance like no other, one truly embodying the distinct scent of greatness. Rich and creamy, Will Levis number 8 is more than a mayonnaise-inspired fragrance. It's transformative. I've eaten mayo, drank mayo, and now I can smell like mayo. I'd love to send you your own bottle of Will." Oh, this is a part of the email just for me, where they're offering to send me a bottle of Will Levis number 8. If I'm interested, please share my mailing address. So I will do this because worth noting that Will Levis is on the radio show on Thursday. Now, tomorrow we have Denard Wilson, which is going to be great because we're going to have Greg Cosell of NFL Films do the radio show with me live and participate in the Denard Wilson interview. So it will be much smarter, much higher level football discourse. And then Thursday, and the joint camp practices with the Seahawks, after the second joint camp practice with the Seahawks, Levis is going to be on the radio show. So I am going to want to do a testing of the Mayo perfume with Will Levis on the radio show, but hopefully this gets here to my home in Germantown in time. With all of this, though, I take it from two sides, okay, on the way that I think about this. I am a sellout. You guys know this. Nothing makes me happier in my life, other than my job, because my jobs kick ass. Nothing makes me happier in life than being able to sell things by just being me. Like nothing. I love endorsing products. I love that. I love doing ads. I love working with companies. I love it. I'm a sellout, right? You guys knew this about me. But with Will Levis, he also has a lot of that to him. He's doing LASIK ads on his Instagram. He's putting out mayonnaise perfume. He is clearly interested in marketing himself, which I respect. I respect the art of selling out because it is an art, and that's what Will Levis is doing here. But I got a couple of texts today from people around the league about Will Levis, and I want to read one of them in particular for you, not just because it's one of the more pointed criticisms of this, but because I do think this is how football players around the league are going to look at Will Levis. Uh, why is this is a text that I got today from somebody in the NFL. Why is he carrying himself like a quarterback who has accomplished something? And I don't think that that's unfair criticism. I do think that leaning into the marketing before you are somebody, and he's somebody, right? He's a starting quarterback in the NFL, but he's not really somebody. He is not really an established player at this point in his career. And I'm gonna figure out a diplomatic way to ask him this question, like, why, as a quarterback of a 3-6 team last year, or 3-6 in your starts with the team, should I buy anything from you? I don't know how to put that gently. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to phrase the question specifically, because I don't think it's an unfair question. Will Levis is somebody who has got promise. Will Levis is clearly an ascending player. Will Levis has the potential to do something special here in Tennessee, but he hasn't done any of those things yet. It's all potential today. Doesn't mean that he can't capitalize on it and be this person, right? Be the kind of player that that he clearly wants to be, not just from a on-field perspective, but from an off-field perspective, because he wants to sell product being Will Levis. And I respect that. Make your money, as much of it as you can, while you can capitalize on it that way. But I do think that there are going to be some pointed criticisms about the Will Levis stuff, similar to Caleb Williams. Now, it's not the nail painting stuff, but it is very look at me for somebody who has yet to establish themselves league-wide. And while I disagree with the notion that he should be, looked down upon for that, I'm not going to ignore the fact that a lot of people, and in particular, for example, let's just take the Chicago Bears defense, they're going to look at that, be like, hey, you see that guy on the graphic there? You see that guy in the picture sticking his finger in his mouth with a scoop of mayonnaise on it? We're going to make that guy's life a living hell, and we're going to taunt him about the mayonnaise, and we're going to spray him with mayonnaise perfume after we sack him, and all these different kind of things, right? That's how football players work. Think about Jeffrey Simmons. He does the interview with Rich Eisen, and he's asked about his week 1 opponent, and the first thing that comes to his mind is what? Painted nails. Levis leaning in is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. The Titans need somebody who's marketable, but they also need a successful quarterback. And Will Levis has yet to be the latter of those two things. He is infinitely marketable. He is not yet established as a quarterback. And I do think that paints a bit of a target on his back. Now, the next question that we're going to ask you is this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. On a scale of 1 to Caleb Williams, where do you rank Will Levis? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Like I said, that's where you can interact in the comment section. While you give your response, I will tell you about True Math Fitness, where your first workout is free as a Middle Tennessee resident. No workout ever recycled or repeated. That's TrueMathFitness.com. They are there to put you in position to succeed. If you eat too much mayonnaise and you want to trim some fat, no pun intended, go to TrueMathFitness.com for that first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. So, on a scale of 1 to Caleb Williams, where would you rank Will Levis? Again, I'm going to play this commercial for you. If you were just now jumping in the show and didn't see it earlier, this is Will Levis's Parfum de Mayonnaise commercial with Hellman's Mayo.
They try to define you, but you are the ingredient to your own success. Luscious, eggy, smell like greatness. Will Levis, number 8, Parfum de Mayonnaise.
So on a scale of 1 to Caleb Williams, where would you rank that? Caleb Williams with the painted nails, with the purse on Hard Knocks, and I know those are more effeminate things than what we're talking about with Will Levis and his Mayo ad, but I guess what I mean when I say 1 to Caleb Williams, doing the least 1, doing the most Caleb Williams. And that's kind of how I separate those two categories, because he's definitely got some look at me to him. Some of it intentional, this clearly intentional. Some of it not, right? The intensity that he plays with, it's kind of like the hero stuff, right? Where he's running for the goal line in a preseason game where he could have just as easily thrown it away and not taken a hit. Instead, he goes to the ground. He takes a couple of hits from Niners defenders. That doesn't draw a flag because he doesn't get down in time to draw the flag. But lucky for the Titans in that preseason game, there's a flag for defensive holding. It sets the offense up with 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. They sneak quarterback Will Levis in, or they QB sneak Will Levis in. He takes he ties the game up 7-7. At that point, they go on to win 17-13 in their first preseason action. So, the hero stuff, right, that compels him to, even if it's a preseason game, run your ass off, go for the end zone, dive for the touchdown, make the play, right? You love that about Will Levis if you're a Titans fan. You love that about Will Levis if you're his coaching staff. But you also have to be cognizant of, hey, bud, chill the F out, because he has to chill the F out to an extent as far as managing the entire situation. Now, does he have to chill the F out with the marketing? No. Does Caleb Williams have to chill the F out with painting his nails and the man purse and all these other things? No, not necessarily. I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people have been butthurt about it all offseason long. And a lot of NFL defenders are looking at Caleb Williams and being like, bleep that guy. We're going to knock the paint right off those nails. That's the whole kind of premise around, on a scale of 1 to Caleb Williams, where is Will Levis? I would probably put him somewhere in the middle ground where Will Levis is not yet famous for being a football player. Will Levis is more famous for being kind of this mayonnaise sideshow, right? Titans fans know him and have bought in on him, I think, based off the Atlanta game alone, right? He won you guys over, or at least bought himself some runway by throwing 4 touchdowns in his NFL debut in Houston Oilers baby blues, love you blue uniforms, and sticking it to the Atlanta Falcons, including Arthur Smith, right? Which made Titans fans feel good, which allowed him to kind of get this leeway, this runway to say, all right, he's got something. The rest of the roster is shit. Let's buy him some time. And then next year, we'll see how Will Levis does. So Titans fans are already in on Will Levis because of the football, not because of the sideshow. But the rest of the NFL probably thinks of him more as a sideshow, and this is not going to help that. It's certainly, hurting the idea. I don't think that it's hurting anything, right? But it does hurt him if he doesn't perform. And that's the only kind of dialogue that I think you have to keep in the back of your mind with some of this stuff. If you're going to be out there in front of people and pushing yourself by way of football and by way of football career that doesn't really have a lot of, pelts on the wall, we'll call it, right, to use a cliche. This is something that Will Levis is going to have stuck with him for as long as he wants to lean in on it. And at a certain point, it's not quite Joe Milton, right, where Joe Milton is more sideshow than he is player. Will Levis, as a career, though, is more sideshow than he is player. And at some point, you want to see one eclipse the other. And you're hoping, if you're a Titans fan, that the player eclipses the sideshow and that the sideshow can follow along with the greatness of the player. We're not there yet. So on a scale of 1 to Caleb Williams, I'd probably put him closer to Caleb Williams than I would to 1. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that yet. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. All right, gone viral video almost defeats the purpose, because this is the only video that went viral today, Will Levis and his mayonnaise ad. So in lieu of playing it for a third time today, I'll remind you that the Primetime program is made possible by the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. Don't sell without the intel that the Ashton team can provide. The official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators is Gary Ashton. And Zen Sports, where betting just got better. Download the app, plug in the promo code ATOZTN, get up to $100 on your no danger first wager. Bet preseason, where betting just got better at Zen Sports. Terms and conditions do apply. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and in the state of Tennessee to bet at Zen Sports. Now, that's going to do it for us tonight, an abbreviated show. 1, because Bert and I have Creed. at Ascend Amphitheater tonight. We're very excited about. 2, because there was nothing else that happened in football today, and the mayonnaise commercial can only carry so much content. And 3, because we've got jam-packed loaded shows for you the next 2 days with Denard Wilson, with Greg Cosell, and the aforementioned Mayo man, Will Levis, on the radio show on Wednesday and on Thursday. So you'll look forward to that. Check out the radio show on 104.5 The Zone's YouTube page. If you haven't already subscribed, do that. And if you don't get a chance to listen to it live, any of it live, check out the podcast via the any podcast app that you listen to, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, what have you. We've got you covered. Have a great rest of your evening. Radio show starts at 10 a.m. live from Titan Seahawks joint training camp practices on 104.5 The Zone.
Go home! Go home! Go home! You're embarrassing Nashville. Go home!